Hello, accounting students. This is the Work Together and On Your Own section in Applia. You can see beginning accounting, 16-17, work together and on your own. We're just going to look at the work together. Notice that in Applia, this is referencing page 35. So you probably want to have your book in front of you. And you can see the information for the work together is listed right on your page 35. I'm going to go ahead and click the link here so that we can open up. And what it's telling us is for each T account, we want to label the debit side and the credit side. We want to figure out which side is increasing, and then we need to go ahead and identify where it is we find the normal balance for these different accounts. And what you're seeing here is a cash account, accounts receivable, supplies, prepaid insurance, accounts payable, several accounts payable accounts, and then Parker Vogel, looks like Parker Vogel would be an owner, and this is a capital account for Parker Vogel. So I'm going to go back up to the beginning, and what you're seeing next to these drop-down boxes in the first section is we're just going to select a debit or a credit. The first question you're always going to ask yourself when you're looking at a transaction and an account. We're talking about a cash account. So we want to label where does cash go within the accounting equation. Is it an asset? Is cash a liability? Or is cash owner's equity? Cash happens to be an asset in the business. So we're going to go ahead and say it's a debit on the left and credit on the right. And for cash, the debit side increases, the credit side decreases, and the normal balance, remember, is whatever side of the accounting equation that is increasing. So that's going to be our debit. Now, accounts receivable for the Sullivan Company. We want to understand that the Sullivan Company is the name of the company that we are working with. So the accounts that they have listed as receivable, so there's money that's coming due to us as an accounts receivable, you want to be thinking through what exactly, in terms of an account classification, where does that one go? Is that an asset for us? Is that a liability for us? Or does that tie into our owner's equity? And what you'll find then is that accounts receivable, or money coming into the business, that's what a receivable is, that's going to also be listed on our asset side of the equation. So on the asset side, again, we're going to do the debit is on the left, credit is on the right. We're increasing on the debit side for assets and decreasing on the credit side, so the normal balance is housed on the debit side of the equation. Supplies, be thinking about what are supplies? Where would supplies be classified? Prepaid insurance, be thinking about where we would classify prepaid insurance. Our accounts payable, we're having to pay money to Sawyer Supplies at some future point in time. And Parker Vogel Capital, remember those capital accounts are always tied into owner's equity. Now that we have looked at capital, you can see right down here we have the option to save and continue. We have the option to continue without saving, and we also have the option to check our answers. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to click check answer. And what you'll notice after you check your answers in Applia is anything you got correct, it's going to go ahead and give you a green check mark. Then when you don't answer, or if you have things missing, what you'll see is these red X's. Now, as you're looking at the points that were earned for these, when I got the entire thing correct, I earned a point, and when I didn't enter anything in, obviously I received a 0. Remember that I'm looking at your Applia scores, particularly for your work togethers and your on your owns, as completion. So you want to be doing them, working through the concepts so that you understand, but we're not actually really evaluating how well you did until we start to get to the application practice that's at the end of the chapter. After you finish this work together, you should go on to 2-1 on your own. Good luck!